Naomi lowered her phone slightly, just enough to take in the flashing red and blue lights slicing through the warm Louisiana dusk. Two officers stepped out, quick, postured, hands already too close to their holsters. She read them instantly. Bored small-town cops, looking to feel big. One of them, the younger one with a chest puff like he was on a recruitment poster, called out sharply, "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to step away from the vehicle." Naomi didn't flinch. She simply said into her phone, still calm, still professional, "Stand by." Then she slowly turned toward them, one hand still visible near her waist, the other holding the secure device loosely at her side. "Problem, officers?" she asked evenly. The older cop narrowed his eyes, already forming his answer before she spoke. "We got a call. Said you were acting suspicious. You on something?" Naomi's expression didn't change, but her mind was already working 3 steps ahead. She could see how this could go sideways fast. "No," she replied, flat and steady. "Just making a call." The younger one gestured toward the phone. "Mind putting that down and showing some ID?" Naomi inhaled once, deeply, the way she'd done in briefings before Black Ops raids. She reached into her jacket pocket, very slowly, and handed over a plain leather case. The cop opened it and stopped. He blinked once, then again. Inside was a Department of Defense identification card with enough clearance to make his badge feel like a library card. Beneath that, a metal emblem, 4 silver stars. The silence between the 3 of them stretched, sharp and tight. "General Naomi Ellsworth," she said quietly. "United States Air Force. I'm currently in the middle of an encrypted briefing with the Pentagon. You've just interrupted a national security transmission." The younger officer looked to his partner. The older one stiffened, color rising in his face. "We didn't, ma'am, we weren't informed." "You weren't supposed to be," Naomi cut in smoothly. "And yet here we are." Across the lot, Paula Sweeney watched through the station window, phone still in hand, jaw slack. Naomi stepped forward, reclaiming her ID with the kind of calm that makes men rethink everything they were about to say. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't have to. "I suggest you contact your supervisor," she said. "Now." The younger officer stammered, "Yes, ma'am." Naomi raised her secure phone again. "Apologies for the interruption," she said coolly. "You were saying, sir?" As the Pentagon voice resumed in her ear, Naomi turned her back on the officers, deliberately, reclaiming the moment, the conversation, and the control. The briefing wrapped a minute later. She ended the call, tucked the phone back in her jacket, and looked once more toward the police cruiser. Both officers were standing exactly where she'd left them, sheepish and red-faced. Naomi walked past them without another word, climbed into her vehicle, and started the engine. As she pulled out of the lot, she didn't glance back at the gas station or the woman behind the glass. She didn't have to. She'd already left a message louder than any radio call. Naomi met Delaney's gaze without flinching. "You already have my ID. I'm General Naomi Ellsworth. What more do you want?" Delaney sneered, crouching closer. "Names and stories don't mean shit here. You think we care about a fancy badge? Around here, you answer to us." Naomi's eyes flicked to the gathering crowd, faces shifting between curiosity, fear, and the sick thrill of watching someone get broken. Her voice dropped low, steady, commanding despite the cuffs biting into her wrists. "I'm on official business. You're interfering with a national security operation. This will not end well for you." Delaney laughed again, harder this time. "Yeah, sure. You just keep telling yourself that, General." From the cracked door of Kelly's Fuel and Food, Paula Sweeney peered out, eyes darting between Naomi and the officers. She shifted uneasily, suddenly realizing this wasn't the drama she'd expected. It was something darker. Across the country, the Pentagon was mobilizing. Colonel Dana Sharp's voice cut through the radio. "This is an unlawful detention of a senior military officer. Officers at Mosswood, stand down immediately. You are ordered to release General Ellsworth." Back in Mosswood, Cooper and Delaney exchanged a glance, tension flickering between them. Delaney muttered under her breath, "We've got orders from who now?" Cooper hesitated, cuffs still secured around Naomi's wrists. Slowly, he pulled out his radio and said, Dispatch. We need to verify orders on a high-ranking officer detained here at Kelly's Fuel. Static. Then a sharp reply. Copy that. Stand down and release immediately. The cuffs clicked open. Naomi rubbed her wrists, her voice icy calm as she stood. Thank you. She turned to the crowd, voice raised now, not with anger, but with quiet authority. Let this be a lesson, she said. Judgment without truth is a dangerous weapon. And sometimes the greatest strength is knowing when to stand still and when to rise. With that, she walked toward her car, the afternoon sun painting long shadows behind her. Paula Sweeney watched silently, a new respect dawning as Naomi disappeared down the cracked highway, leaving behind more questions than answers. Toward the horizon, the weight of the afternoon sun pressed against the glass, mirroring the heaviness settling inside her. Lieutenant Colonel Mosley broke the silence, his voice low but firm. You handled it well, General. Not many would have stayed calm under that kind of pressure. Naomi gave a small, almost imperceptible nod. I've learned to expect the unexpected. But this, she gestured toward the fading town behind them. This was more than just suspicion. It was something darker. Mosley's eyes narrowed, his expression hardening. It's a reminder that even in the 21st century, the fight isn't only on the battlefield. It's out there, in places you least expect. People who don't know what loyalty or honor means. Naomi's fingers tapped lightly against the window frame, the rhythm steadying her thoughts. I have a duty to see this through, not just for me, but for every soldier who's ever been judged before they were understood. Outside, the highway stretched on, empty and unyielding, but inside the SUV, a new resolve took root, quiet, unshakable, and ready to fight the battles that didn't come with medals or parades. The road ahead was long, but Naomi Ellsworth was far from done. Needed to find the right words, the kind that would cut through the noise without losing the steady strength she carried inside. The next morning, standing before a sea of cameras in the Pentagon briefing room, Naomi's voice was calm but resolute. This isn't just my story, she began, eyes sweeping the room. It's the story of every soldier, every service member, every citizen who's been judged unfairly by appearances or assumptions. Today, I stand not only for myself, but for those who are still waiting to be seen, to be respected, and to be heard. Her words echoed beyond the walls of the room, a beacon for justice and dignity, reminding the country that real honor wasn't in medals or rank alone. It was in standing firm, even when the world tried to knock you down. Naomi's journey was far from over, but in that moment, she reclaimed not just her identity, but the truth that no badge or uniform could ever erase. Strength and integrity are built from within. Justice. Naomi's eyes softened just for a moment as she scanned the crowd beyond the flashing lights. Then she lifted her chin, voice steady and unwavering. This moment is bigger than me. It's a call to every institution, every leader, and every citizen. We must confront the uncomfortable truths about bias and discrimination. Because when we allow prejudice to dictate our actions, we weaken the very foundation of the country we serve. She paused to let the weight of her words settle in. To those who believe change is too difficult or too slow, know this. Progress begins when we refuse to accept injustice as normal. We owe it to ourselves, to those who came before us, and to the generations yet to come. The crowd shifted, a hum of agreement rising. Naomi stepped away from the microphone briefly, then returned with a final, firm declaration. I am General Naomi Ellsworth. I serve this nation with honor, and I will continue to do so with the same courage and conviction that carried me through every battle, on and off the field. And I will not be silent. With that, she stepped down, leaving behind a charged silence that spoke louder than any applause. Naomi's story was more than a single moment. It was a spark. A reminder that real leadership means confronting uncomfortable truths and that justice requires persistence, courage, and the refusal to be silenced. She carried that quiet strength forward, knowing that every voice raised against injustice chips away at the walls of inequality.